What's up, brother? What a time to be alive as a natural bodybuilder, alright? I was just watching another video on YouTube and someone was talking about how much natural bodybuilding is uncharted territory. It's like the new hyped up thing because we haven't seen how far we can take it. We don't know how good we can become as natural lifters. We've seen the enhanced bodybuilders, Nick Walker, Ronnie Coleman, the whole huge physiques. Props to them, they look amazing. But we kind of seen how far this field can be taken. We've seen the power lifter, we've seen the thousands of pounds squats and all those stuff. It used to be exciting at a time, powerlifting. If you remember 10 years ago, powerlifting was the new kind of little big thing because naturals had a chance in it. All right, so it was everything, everybody was super excited. But now we've seen even natural powerlifters lifting insane amount of weight. Strongman, pretty exciting, but now I really feel like we're going into that natural bodybuilding era trend. And all I see on my Instagram, I don't know if it's the algorithm of my YouTube or whatever, but we're talking about natural bodybuilding. And a lot of the natural lifters, we kind of agree on a lot of things. I'm not saying we agree on everything. I know a few natural bodybuilders, let's say Alex, Leonidas, Alpha Destiny, or Phil, PJ Coaching, or other Adam Power, those guys. There's always some similarities when it comes to our training. So it makes me kind of confident in my style of training and my approach. And it's like if we're always a little bit going back to the golden era time, the golden era ways of training, a little bit more of the... I'll talk about it more in the video later, all the detailed, all the little, let's say, pillars of achieving a golden era physique naturally. But I see a lot of resemblance in all our training method, which I will talk about, which is pretty exciting because someone that is thinking about going to the enhanced route, you might be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna jump on PEDs, I'll get a bit more shoulders, I'll get a bit more veiny, but then I'm competing with the millions of enhanced athletes and there's no way I'll be able to reach, let's say, Ronnie Coleman physique. So it's like if you're competing in a field that you know that it's almost like everything is seen, as opposed to natural bodybuilding. It's pretty exciting because we're like kind of the few ones. I'm not saying me, forget me, but like the people that I'm seeing, it's pretty achievable in a way that if you put your hard work in and you put the years in, you can reach a pretty decent physique naturally, and you can really make it look enhanced. Seriously, sometimes even me after my competition, after getting the carbs in myself, I was training, I swear, I was looking in the mirror, not even believing what I was seeing. All right, and it's pretty exciting because we don't see much of that as naturals. And a lot of people didn't believe I'm natural. After my competition, I had one client and I'm telling him I just finished my natural competition. And his first question is, how many injections did you take? You know, just saying. And I was just laughing. I'm like, yeah, that's funny. For me, it's kind of a compliment. But it's just to tell you that natural bodybuilding is uncharted territory, all right? Let's talk about the pillars that will help you reach that golden era physique, that golden era bodybuilders were doing that I think as a natural now, you need to copy a little bit that style of training and not train like the modern age bodybuilders, because then you'll end up on machine, doing things that will not really benefit you. Trust me, I've tried it both ways, all right? So chasing the pump and losing all your muscles, okay? So let's jump straight into it. Golden era bodybuilders, and I believe it applies for natural bodybuilders nowadays, they did a high volume workout, all right? And now you're gonna tell me, well, Mike Metzer did 3 sets per week. No, Mike Metzer just used that method to promote his coaching or promote himself or be just against Arnold or get a hype about him. Most golden era bodybuilders did a high volume training. They used to work out for hours. They used to be at the gym every single day. It wasn't a 3 times a week, 3 sets per body part to failure and that's it. No. All right. So high volume, and even if you're natural, I really believe that we gotta work up our body to resist all that volume. It's the only way for us to reach our natural limit. All right, if you're just training, which I don't believe natural limit exists, if you're training 3 times a week and you're resting 4 days a week, trust me, it's not enough stimulus. Doesn't matter if you're going all in, balls out on those sessions. It's not enough. Nobody needs 4 days of rest, especially not advanced lifters. All right, so high volume workouts. They weren't shying away from high volume. That's the key point. Don't shy away from high volume. If you feel like after, let's say, I don't know, 12 sets, you've had it, you've done enough, okay, go home. I'm not saying every workout has to be high volume, but don't shy away from it. Don't associate high volume with necessarily junk volume, because it's not always related. Sometimes high volume is needed, especially for big body parts like your back, your legs, hamstrings, chest sometimes, all right, depending on the people. Moving on, number 2 is the compound movement. The golden era bodybuilders, they used to be big on compound lifts, all right. Now you might say, well, it's just because they didn't have a lot of machines. No, machines were around. But if you see, I bought the book, the Golden Era Bodybuilders book. It was, what was it called? I think it was called Golden Era Bodybuilding, all right? And I've seen all the programs, Franco Colombo, Lou Ferrigno, Frank Zane, Mike Metzer. Guess what? Most of their workout was a compound lift, all right? A compound lift or a few compound lifts, but that was pretty much it. Let's say it was a chest day. They would do mostly barbell bench press, incline barbell press, dumbbell flies, dumbbell incline presses, and maybe finish with some cable crossover and some dips. All right, so that's it. There's no sitting on a machine and pressing and all the fancy machines. It's compound lifts and going big on the compound lifts. Okay, and the more we evolve in the science-based bodybuilding, the more they want to take away the compound lifts from us, the more they want to demonize them. Oh, bench press is so bad for your joints. Oh, barbell back squat is gonna destroy you. Oh, deadlift is super bad. Pull-ups are not ideal. Guys, stop it. We've been doing them for hundreds of years. Don't try to reinvent the wheel, because we've seen a science-based lifter that is natural. It's very hard to build a physique as a natural without doing the compound lifts. And also, moving on to our third point, strength training. There were a lot of the golden era bodybuilders were also power lifters. Franco Colombo, Arnold started as a power lifter. All right, a lot of them also were not shying away from incorporating strength sets of 3 to 5, really going heavy on those compound lifts and really pushing it in terms of strength. And I really believe that it will add to your muscle thickness, your muscle density, to your strength. It will add to your muscle. It's doing sets of 12 and 15 and going for that pump. It's all beautiful once the muscle is already built. But if you haven't built that muscle, my friend, you gotta put that barbell on your back and squat. You gotta put the weight on the bar. You gotta go heavy. You gotta go for the sets of 3, 5. Really stress that nervous system and grow like that, all right? Because it's needed. And I've tried it both ways. I didn't want to believe that I have to lift heavy, but after years of experience, I came to the conclusion that something has to be said about lifting heavy weight, just holding that weight. It does something to your body, it does something to your joints, it does something to your bones, and the impact that it has on your body is just great. All right, so if you're someone that is just focusing on light weights and you don't want to get injured or you don't want to go super heavy, as a natural, you will plateau super fast. Moving on, low rest. I was looking through the programs of those golden era bodybuilders, and a lot of them, they did not take a long time resting. Nowadays, I go to the gym, most people in their sets, they're on their phone 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Some people, I have time to do 4 or 5 sets by the time they do their second set. It's just too long of a rest, way too long of a rest. If you're a power lifter, maybe, okay, it's another sport. But if you're a bodybuilder, the more you rest, the more you're allowing your muscle to cool down. And you're kind of taking your mind off of it, all right? I used to train with a professional bodybuilder. In our rest, he used to stretch a bit. So he used to take a bit longer rest, but he was doing an active kind of stretching just to keep that blood in there, staying focused on the muscle. But if you're resting and you're on your phone and you're doing something else, or you're resting for too long, it will be harder for you, because the goal is getting that muscle to failure also. Yes, lifting heavy, like I said, is good, but you don't need more than 2 minute rest. For me, 60 to 90 seconds and I'll hit it again. All right, and sometimes in between my sets, I'll do things that won't affect my next set. Let's say I just did a set of pull-up, or I did some barbell rows. Well, in between my barbell rows, a lot of times I might be doing something like a cable lat pullover or some pull-ups, all right? I'm still keeping my, let's say, energy for the barbell rows, but I did something else in between to keep that blood in there and keep my muscle warm, all right? So moving on, cheat reps. A lot of them were cheating, doing cheat reps. So they were, let's say, the form, just let's say, they were not nerds on techniques. A lot of people nowadays focus a lot on optimizing the technique, and we are nerds on technique. Oh, the elbow is not at 90 degrees, so I can't do another rep. Oh, I can't do another rep because I don't know what. You know, it's okay if you're cheating a bit. If cheating will help you get maybe 20% more of that side delta activation, even when you're doing your lateral raises, but you're getting a lot of traps, well, on that one rep, you're still getting 20% more side delta activation. So cheat a bit. It's okay. Cheat a bit on those biceps curl if it's allowing you to get a little bit more biceps, even though you're swinging, but you can control the way down. And those cheat reps will help you also improve, because now from session to session, you're going almost to failure, you're cheating, so you're putting a bit more stress on your body and your muscles, and you're going from there. Moving on, they were low carbs. They weren't big on carbs. Golden era bodybuilders, if you saw Arnold's diet, weren't doing so much carbs. Yeah, toast here and there in the morning, a little bit maybe post-workout, but most of their carbs were coming from, they were eating fruits, but most of their calories were coming from a high protein diet and a higher fat diet. And I really do believe there's something to be said about that, because as naturals, I feel like it's super easy to fill up your muscle glycogen stores. You see someone that is enhanced, that is doing 100 grams of carbs pre, 100 grams post, 50 grams third meal, 60 grams fourth meal, 100 grams meal 6, and plus on top of that, they'll do a refeed on the weekend. Guys, do that as a natural. You'll fill up your muscle glycogen stores in a minute, and guess what? You'll be storing fat super easily, retaining water. It's not gonna have a good look, all right? Stick to the amount of carbs that you need exactly to fill up your muscle glycogen. For me, I came to the conclusion that 75 grams of carbs pre, 75 grams of carbs post-workout helped me very well fuel my session and fill up my muscle glycogen. And the rest of the day, I try to keep maximum, let's say the whole rest of the day, I'll consume 75 grams on top of all that, all right? I tried doing very higher carbs, lowering my fats and protein, but it was just not doing the same results. I can't explain it why. I can't explain it. Even though I was having the same calories, going higher protein and a little bit higher fat, and keeping my carbs around 200 a day is the best for me. And looking at all the golden era bodybuilders, that's pretty much what they did. They kept it higher protein, higher fats, and carbs only when needed. I'm not saying go keto or carnivore, but I'm saying don't have carbs every single meal and overdo the carbs. And don't go big on carbs. And not all calories are the same. You go big on carbs, even if you're dropping your fats or your protein, it's not gonna benefit you as much. Especially as a natural, you wanna make sure that you're optimizing your hormonal health. And that means keeping your fats at a healthy level. 60 to 80 grams of fats is pretty good to aim for. And those fats were not coming from added fats also. I gotta mention, it comes from eggs, comes from milk, comes from dairy product, comes from meat, steak, salmon. Adding fats to your meals is just a new thing, you know. All the extra almond butter, peanut butter, extra nuts, extra avocado. I wouldn't do a ton of that, honestly. Even now, I'm not big on it at all. I love peanut butter for the taste, but what I do is I do peanut powder. Peanut butter powder. Pretty good. Moving on, free weights, body weight exercise. So, they were big on free weights and body weights exercise. A lot of pull-ups, push-ups, dips, lunges, body weight squats, walking, dumbbell lunges, pull-ups, dips, we don't see a lot of people doing them anymore. We just don't. And if we see people doing dips, a lot of times they are ego lifting, putting 3 plates of 45 on their waist and just trying to go for 1 rep. But let's get back those sets of, like, I'm a big believer that body weights should be done with body weight. If you do easily 20 pull-ups, do holds, go slow on the negative. Don't rest as much. Maybe the first set will be 20, go back down, breathe a bit, jump back up and do another sets of 8, another sets of 10. Trust me, you will feel your lats like crazy, all right? Going on those body weights, doing body weights, no added weight, doing them in a way where you're really controlling the weight down, maybe doing higher reps, higher volume, it will really do something to your body. I really believe God gave us the body weight exercise for a reason, and they are a great complementary to compound lifts and weighted exercise, weights. What I did during the lockdown, I was doing mostly pull-ups, push-ups, and body weight lunges. And trust me, and dips. Trust me, I was in my best shape ever. Seriously, my best shape ever. I haven't touched that dumbbell for almost a year. All right, pull-ups, push-ups, body weight, lunges, and dips. And I was doing like a kind of a row on the bar, you know, the bar in the park. I was doing like prison style workouts, and trust me, I was getting jacked. But I was doing very high volume, high reps, low rest. That's it for this video, guys. Just wanted to shoot something for you guys. And that's it. Stay positive, man. Keep chasing your dreams. Keep going for it. Hopefully everybody's having a great beginning of the year. 2025. Let's do it. Let's chase our dreams, you know.